What's up? Welcome back to the Hook and Better podcast. I don't know what episode it is because we missed last week. I think it's 17.
17, Ben.
I think that's great. Health and safety protocols knocked us out last week, but we're back.
Yeah.
We are back. And off the top, I just want to say that I am done with bowl season. Old Dominion was up by 28. They were up 28-0. It was a bet that I bet 3 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. They were up 28-0. I didn't even know the game was happening. I got a notification around 6 o'clock, and it says, Old Dominion blows 28-0 lead. And I said, why did they play at 3 o'clock? So that was how I figured out that I lost the bet in a just demoralizing fashion.
That's right. You said it on this podcast.
I did.
If I remember.
Western Kentucky put in their third stringers.
Yikes.
And then the line was -5 by the time it kicked off. And I had -1.5. And you know what? I never win those bets. It's just not destined to happen. So I'm done with bowl season. Nobody plays. It doesn't make any sense. We've got guys opting out that aren't going to play in the NFL that could probably benefit from playing an extra game.
Yeah.
Like Talia Tagovailoa.
Yeah.
He's not playing.
No. You don't think he'll get brought in?
Sure. But you also don't think that he could the benefits outweigh the cons of him playing well in a decent-sized bowl game?
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Is he going into the draft?
I'm sure.
I'm sure he probably will.
And I'm sure he'll be like a 5th, 6th, maybe undrafted.
But then if you get hurt, it's like...
I guess. But I don't know.
Could he play well enough to where he moves up that much? It might not outweigh it, actually.
I in my opinion, anytime you play like a nationally like televised game, even if it doesn't matter, like these bowl games, like you're gonna garner some like media buzz.
Who would they play?
Auburn.
They're playing, yeah.
Like, and they're already getting paid now, right? Like,
yeah, he's making.
He's got to be making at least like $50K.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
Definitely. I mean, the profits that Maryland football is getting, most of it's going to him.
I think that Chip Kelly said. I think it was Chip Kelly that said that they should have just a separate pot for if they want these bowl games to matter. They should have a separate pot for the bowl games, and they should just pay the players to play,
right? Because
it's way more exposure for the teams if the the quarterbacks and the guys actually play the game.
One thing that the NBA in-season tournament showed: money.
It's true.
Money matters.
Yeah,
especially young people.
Yeah, especially these guys like Talia, undrafted, whatever he ends up being, not going to make that much.
And for that kind of game, so if you saw like LeBron start carrying bad, because then it's like even if I'm making this money, I do it for my teammates.
Yeah, absolutely,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But whatever. Until that gets fixed, bowl season. I still love it because it's ridiculous and there's games going on all day and stupid things happen, but it's a little annoying at this point.
That's fair.
We are live sweating Baylor versus Duke. Baylor's down 2 at the half. We have Baylor +3, Baylor +6.5. I think BC might already have his rebound.
I think that'll good. All offensive, I think.
Yeah. So, we'll keep you posted. But
9.5
it's halftime
points
now.
was his line too.
Oh wow, 11 points in the first. Good for him.
Yeah.
So, hopefully Baylor comes through for us. But that was it. That just college sports update. Just we'll talk about the playoff next week as we get closer to the games. But it's crazy they have a month off in between.
Yeah, it's dumb.
Yeah.
And the NFL is raking it right now with the Saturdays and the Thursdays and the Mondays.
I had a question for you guys that I was going to ask later, but you brought it up, so I'll ask now. Do you are you excited there's 3 games on Christmas?
Kinda.
The way I do my Christmases, I think right now, because I don't really have like a family of my own, really, besides what we do.
Yeah.
So like we're doing stuff on Christmas Eve. So if you don't have plans, I think, then yes.
Yeah. And I'm not. It's weird because I'm not a big NBA guy, but NBA Christmas Day is like if you're not doing anything, I'm watching NBA Christmas Day.
That's true.
But like I have a couple places to go.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people probably have stuff to do. It's like I'm obviously very excited for Ravens 49ers, but if that was the only game, that would make sense to me. The fact that there's 2 other games, I don't get it.
It's true.
That's fair. I'd honestly prefer if the Ravens didn't play on Christmas Day.
100%.
I like watching games that I don't care about on Christmas Day. You know?
But for everyone else, it's a great game.
Yes, exactly. And I think that's why they did it.
Yeah.
I wish that we weren't playing Monday night because then we have to play the Dolphins off a short rest, but it is what it is.
That's going to suck.
Yeah.
I love the Saturdays, though.
Saturdays are great. Saturdays make so much sense.
Yes. And it's cool that they've divided. There's 3 games on Saturday and 3 on Monday.
Yeah.
I think that's cool. But you're right. I feel like the Monday is a little over the top. They didn't have to do the 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock on Monday.
Yeah. Like let NBA have its time. Like the NBA It hasn't like the in-season tournament was whatever. It worked, like I said in a few pods ago, but no one cares about the NBA till Christmas. So like let these different leagues have their day, in my opinion.
I think it's true. Just because the time of year too, like Christmas falling on a Monday, last year it fell on a Sunday.
That's
like
true.
They just benefit from that.
That's
like when it falls on a Tuesday, they won't shove it down our throats as much.
Yeah.
But anytime it's on a Monday, Sunday, or Saturday,
Totally
the
fair.
NFL wants it bad.
Totally fair.
And I'll tell you what, for fantasy football, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
If you're in your playoffs, Christmas is going to be really fun.
That's true.
Because last year I remember I had Tua and Tyreek Hill, and I was playing this guy, and he had guys in that game too. They were playing the Packers. I think he had Aaron Rodgers. Played Aaron Rodgers. That was fun.
Interesting.
Sorry. Yeah.
No, yeah.
Was it fun?
It's
that's what I
fun to
said.
watch.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not like I don't know. I don't care about the 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock games. It is what it is.
What are they? What are those?
Chiefs are playing, and the Chiefs, Raiders, and Eagles, Giants. I think. So, you don't need to care about them. I
Yeah,
would
like
say.
Eagles, Giants.
Yeah. You never know.
That could be
The
sneaky.
Eagles might suck.
could be
I don't want that to be sneaky.
What I was going to say, though, is I think that Thursday night football should be abolished, and we should just go to doubleheaders every Monday night.
I like it.
I need Thursday football.
I do love Thursday.
It makes sense for the players, obviously,
Yeah.
but they definitely make too much money off it too. Everyone watches Thursday.
Well, yeah, Amazon paid a boatload of money to stream it, but
Yeah.
I don't know. The games just always suck. The double Monday night games worked. I understand both games ended up being good games, but like starting at the same time, it was kind of fun.
Yeah.
I guess.
Personally, I liked it when it was like 7.
I'd like a
10.
stagger.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah.
That's nice. But yeah, you're right. I mean, I thought it's fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. I liked it.
Yeah. I don't know.
Give it me all. Give it all. You know what? We should change to every day. You know?
Don't. They will.
They will.
I know they will.
They
if
might.
it's there,
Yeah.
no, they can't do that.
If they can figure something out, it might be Wednesday through Monday.
The players would. No way. The players.
Why?
The association would, because that's just crazy.
If you play Tuesday, you play Sunday. I don't think that's different than playing Sunday and then playing Thursday.
So Tuesday and Sunday? Oh, you mean like you play on Tuesday and then the next
Yeah, like week 1 you play
Sunday.
Tuesday, you play Tuesday night football, and then week 2 you're on a Sunday at 1 o'clock.
But I guess because then you're having all of the teams now do short rest pretty consistently.
The
Like every
schedules
2,
be
3
wild.
weeks.
That's
yeah,
true.
Which would then be a problem.
It would mess up waivers for fantasy football.
It sure would. We can't have that.
If they did like 2 bye weeks or something,
Yeah,
they could figure it out. Which they might.
they might. I mean, they're pushing a Brazil game down our throat now, which might be week 1. So they're figuring different stuff out.
More teams too, if they ever get to there,
Yeah,
then it might come into play.
yeah. I don't know. The NFL, they're always looking.
They're always looking.
They're always looking. Let's
They
get to the stuff that actually happened on the field. Kind of on the field, but Brandon Staley finally got fired.
Woohoo! Way too late.
I mean, it took for them to have a backup quarterback and their top receiver out.
Yeah.
And they got smashed, obviously. They gave up 60-something points, and he is a defensive coach, like we've said before. So I get it.
And he
but-
made it clear.
yeah,
He said,
Yes,
"I'm
he did.
calling the
I'm
plays."
calling the plays. So
Stop
you can
asking.
Stop asking. I think they. Honestly, I think they were going to fire him at the end of the season.
Yeah.
But this just forced their hand. It's like,
That's-
okay, if we don't get rid of him, it's going to make our 10 fans super upset.
It was, in my opinion, it was a good look for the organization to do it now.
I guess, yeah. GM also gets fired.
That's a little
Which-
wild.
Did you look at his? Okay, did you look at his credentials?
No.
He is not qualified to be a GM in the NFL. I'm so serious.
Was
He's-
he on NFL Network?
I don't. He's been like
His name's familiar.
Yeah, that's what I...
He might have been. I don't know, but I remember seeing like he was like an assistant coach in like the 90s, and then he was an assistant like defensive backs coach or something, and then all of a sudden he's a GM.
That's
you know?
awesome.
And it makes me wonder, like these guys that they hire GM, like are they even qualified at all?
A lot of them probably not.
Yeah,
Like
Who's the guy on ESPN who almost became a GM?
well, I was
Bill
going to say
Polian. Bill Polian was a GM.
Mike Mayock was a
Mike
GM.
Mayock was a GM. But yeah, they hired him right off NFL Network.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
But yeah, like we've heard those stories before, and it's like, would they be qualified? Probably not.
No.
But I guess that's why they don't get the job.
Yeah, well, but that's crazy about Tom Telesco, I think, is the Chargers guy's name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's super young. He's like 45, 46.
Oh my God.
He's really not that old. But he's been, I don't know. He's like,
Does it give you hope? Does it give you hope to be a
Kind
GM?
of. I know, seriously. I mean, like, he was like 22 and he got hired as like an assistant coach or for something, for the Bears or something in the 90s.
I feel like
pretty
he
cool.
built a pretty good team.
He wasn't off. Well, first of all, he was there way too long. He's been there since like 2013.
Okay.
They've been completely mediocre.
Yeah.
But yeah, he did draft like Joey Bosa. And like the thing with the Chargers is like their first round picks are usually pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, you picked like Mike Williams. He's all right.
It's just always been the coach.
Yeah.
They've always.
They just,
had that
I don't know.
coach.
They're the Cowboys of the AFC.
They're probably going to get it wrong again. They said they're not going to. They're not. Any expense will be going towards finding the next head coach, which we'll see. They're going to get it wrong.
Do you buy the Bill Belichick rumors?
Yeah. Well, to an extent.
We didn't see it coming. We
What?
thought he had all the leash in the world and whatever, and we thought he was going to stay or leave on his own.
Yeah.
They kind of kicked him out the door.
Well, we'll see. I mean,
Or are kicking him.
yeah, a lot of reports happening, right?
It's true.
You know, some refuting it, some saying that's going to happen. I get it because he gets to work with someone that we consider to be like a top tier quarterback.
Yeah, like he gets because that's what's been missing kind of in New England.
Right.
Like I feel like they've done decent everywhere else. I mean, except for finding offensive weapons, but it's quarterback play that's really holding.
Yeah.
It back.
And I mean, the defense is in place. I mean, they're getting old. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, but it would make sense for that to be a landing spot. I still think Washington makes sense for him to go to.
Wow,
I really do.
You don't think he'd just be done?
I think he could be done. I think
he could be. But
I
I
think
think
he
he loves
should.
it. I think he's just one of those football nerds.
He goes
Like,
to college.
That'd be wild.
No
Like,
shot.
Honestly, I like Washington because he's from Annapolis.
That's what I
he
mean,
might
right? And
actually
he's
go to
super
Washington.
into like Navy lacrosse and like stuff like that.
Yeah.
So Washington actually makes some sense.
Yeah,
Um,
that'd be wild.
that would be wild.
He might go somewhere to prove himself, but
No,
he kind of had that chance to do that.
He just might not have been a very good coach. There's a chance.
I don't think so, man. I don't think. No way. He's got to be. He's great. I think he's good.
He's probably good, but it's a little damning what's been happening.
Yeah.
But Mac Jones is very bad,
Yes. Yes.
which we saw coming into this
We
year.
saw it coming. Yeah, we saw it. Yeah, I think I said on this podcast.
did.
I don't think he'll be there.
Yeah,
next
you
year.
did. You 100% did.
But I've been wrong about a ton.
No. We're just gonna focus.
Yeah,
on
well,
what you
ignore
got right
that.
about it.
Yeah. Yeah, C.J. Stroud, he's great. you know?
I don't remember what your C.J. Stroud take was.
I thought he'd be a bust. I thought that was a bad pick.
We also thought the Panthers might make the playoffs.
Yes, we did. Not Andrew. Not Andrew.
I said Bryce Young would get better, though. He did.
Yeah. He did.
Well,
It just got worse for him.
yeah, it has gotten worse, but
they're
give him a year.
yeah. I mean, this is like a wash.
I think I think we had technical difficulties when the Panther stuff was happening, so we didn't get to talk about it. But are they the worst run organization in all sports?
Man, they might be right now.
I think they are.
Might be right now.
They
I don't know because
they traded Christian McCaffrey for like nothing.
yeah. Well, they got a ton of picks. I guess they thought like he's leaving anyway.
Did
What
they
are we
get that
gonna do with
Did
him?
they get that many picks? Though?
It would help to have Christian McCaffrey on that team right now.
Yeah.
They trade away DJ Moore, and then 6 weeks into the season, they're like, you know what we need?
Yeah.
A number one receiver.
Yeah,
It's like, oh.
that trade is terrible in hindsight. I mean, even if you count out how bad like not getting CJ Stroud is compared to Bryce Young. I mean, they gave up a ton for that pick. It felt like way too much. Like when I saw DJ Moore, I'm like, okay, that's way too much. Like you could have taken back one of those first round picks and put in DJ Moore.
And that was at the time, right, where we're like,
Yeah.
okay, that's probably a little bit much. And now you're looking at, you have the number one pick, and it has to go to the Bears. And that's crazy.
That's terrible.
So I don't know. Looking at some of the moves they've made,
fair.
It was like pretty eye opening of how bad it's been.
And the whole fan shift, if you've seen those pictures and everything. Just
You could get in for 45 cents.
I know. It's sad.
That's sad.
To be fair, it was pouring.
It was.
Yes, it was.
And you can get a Ravens game for $15 the last game too. So.
45 cents is just like so. It's just like nothing.
Yeah.
You hear that, it's just like, oh my god.
That's crazy, man.
But, yeah, I don't know. I was just looking at and like they brought in Baker, and Baker was awful. Just a lot of stuff that they did. Just a lot of bad moves.
It's also a weird spot for a franchise too.
Mhm.
So could you see that eventually dying?
Yeah,
They struggle to bring in fans sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's weird because you think that market there's a lot of room, like Southern Virginia.
Right.
Like doesn't
It's just
really have
everyone's so
much, and
spread
North
out down there.
Right, yeah.
but they own the Carolinas. Southern Virginia, to your point, doesn't have a team. I mean,
maybe Eastern
people from Kentucky.
Yeah,
could,
Kentucky, maybe
know.
Tennessee.
I mean, they probably have a bunch of fans
Yeah,
when they do well, at least. But going to the games is probably the struggle.
that's true.
Yeah.
I think their owner is one of the richest, though, so I don't.
It's true.
I don't know that he would want to move it, but he might get forced out if he's this bad because
Yeah, dude.
all the coaches they hire are bad.
pretty
They've had
rough,
what?
man.
They've
Yeah.
fired two first-year coaches. It's just been a mess. So they did win this week. So
They did.
That's true.
Props.
more because the Falcons are a joke. But yeah, I'll stick with some Saturday football. Try to go chronologically. We'll see. The Nick Mullins versus Jake Browning game was drunk.
Yes.
They were just throwing the ball up, and somehow the receivers were catching it.
Yeah.
I can't. The Bengals won again. It's ridiculous that they're going to make the playoffs potentially. We talked last month, and we talked about how we thought the AFC would be a certain way and how it would be missing the Bengals and the Bills and all these teams. It turns out that they might just get in, all of them, and that we'll see. But
Yeah.
at least Joe Burrow is a system quarterback, and we can put
That's
that
right.
to bed.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
We got to give props. I mean, you kind of have to give props to the Bengals coaches. I mean, they're kind of. I don't know how they're 8-6 right now.
true.
Honestly, I don't think they make the playoffs just because they play the Chiefs. They
do.
play they have a tough stretch. Like they play the Steelers, Chiefs, and then the last game is against a really tough opponent.
It'd be Cleveland.
Yeah, it's Cleveland. So I think they might not still get in, but even still, I mean, geez, man, they should be done. They should be done. They were 5-6.
Yeah.
Jake
Browning, man.
Jake Browning,
It's
man,
been ridiculous.
It was nice to hear him in the post game, though.
Yeah.
That's pretty nice. I
That's
do
true.
like a good backup quarterback story.
I do too. I wish I would have known that he got cut from the Vikings.
You know that? Preseason.
I forgot. I mean, yeah.
He wasn't good in the preseason for the Vikings, so it makes
Yeah.
sense that he got cut.
But that game was ridiculous. Nick Mullins had made some of the worst plays I've ever seen, but he threw for over 300 yards.
That's him.
That is him.
Yeah.
He is a gunslinger.
Especially for the 49ers, he's doing that.
Yeah. I thought he was more. I remembered him being more mobile.
He was.
Okay.
He was.
Because I was like sitting there and I was like, why isn't he like running?
I think that was just probably an experience at the time.
Yeah, that's fair. But I guess the Vikings are dead now. They had a little moment. I guess they're not dead.
The NFC is so bad.
It is.
What are they, 7-7? I think they got two games against the Lions, which stinks.
Yeah.
So they'd have to beat the Lions in
Yeah.
this once. But the NFC is so bad. I think a 6-8 team is in their playoff picture right now. They're terrible.
No, because I think the
The Seahawks won.
Yeah.
The Seahawks won, so they're never mind.
and the two NFC South teams are both 7-7. So are the Rams.
Yeah. Yep.
So, I'll talk about a team that is dead. The Pittsburgh Steelers.
They are.
Andrew, are they
Mike
good?
Tomlin looks pissed. They're still.
Yeah,
they can still win any game. Okay.
Yeah.
That's all I've been saying.
They gave up a 30-0 run.
Yeah.
Shout out Mike Tomlin, by the way, taking timeouts when the Colts were kneeing out the game to force the over. That was awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Also, just them proving it can get worse than Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Holy
Hey,
cow.
it's Mason Rudolph week.
Give him the full game. Why didn't they give him that full game? Don't.
How is Mason Rudolph in the NFL?
I don't
In
know.
any other team,
But how's
he's
Mitch in the NFL?
well, yeah, exactly.
Because
I don't.
he was drafted too high and given
Yeah,
too much
exactly.
money.
Yes. No, seriously, I do think so. Well, number 2 overall pick, Mitch
Yes.
Trubisky. He's coming on it.
I'll always be a Mitch defender.
I know.
Really?
Not anymore. Nah, I can't do it. I've had a
Pro Bowler.
Pro Bowl with Tyler Huntley.
Dude, he was a Pro Bowler. But he actually
So was
had
Mac
a
Jones,
pretty
though.
good year that year.
Mac Jones was a Pro
Yes,
Bowler.
Mac Jones was a Pro Bowler.
I've had quite the year of reformation in my quarterback views.
Okay.
I will say.
Who got
I'm
dropped?
proud of you, Ben.
Derek Carr. Can't do it anymore.
Proud of you.
I can't do it. It hurts to watch him play football.
Yeah, man.
And that it might not be his fault. It might not. In my eyes.
He was given a good team.
In my eyes, it might be because I really want Jameis to play football. So them battling for the number one job might have hurt Derek Carr.
That's true.
In my
Wow.
eyes,
That's fair.
because
Good
I'm calling for
analysis.
Jameis. I'm calling for Jameis. What does that mean? That means Derek's got to go.
That means Derek's got to go.
Same reason why Cam can't be brought on the team. Cam Newton. Too much of a distraction.
That's why they won't get RG3 out there. He's trying,
I know. He beat that bird. See that? He raced the bird.
What?
No, I did not see that.
And he smoked
RG3?
it. Oh, yeah.
God.
It was like a falcon or something.
Yeah, dude's kind of weird.
He's fast.
He is fast.
I was impressed.
He is fast. I feel like there's another quarterback. I'm coming around on Brock Purdy.
Yeah. Oh wow, that was a rough one. But we're just gonna act like that never happened because it didn't.
Guess what? He still can't win a Super Bowl.
Yeah. He's about to prove it this week.
We were talking. He said something wild. What's that number? 500 plus 500 for Ravens 49ers Super Bowl matchup.
That's disgusting.
Like what?
Really? That's wild.
So,
And we're plus 200 to win the AFC. So.
We said we were talking about next week a little later in the show, but we'll do it now. Ravens versus 49ers by DVOA is the best game ever.
Really? That makes a
It-
ton of
Like
sense.
for the Ravens?
No, like in the
Like-
entire NFL, this is the highest DVOA matchup of all time.
Like just quality?
Yeah.
Is that what that means? Yeah.
The only thing that comes close is the 2007 Colts versus Patriots.
Wow, that's wild. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Because I like DVOA. I've always thought it's a pretty good metric, but and I knew the 49ers. They had skyrocketed over the past 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Because at one point it was the Ravens who were up there.
Mhm.
But yeah, they're at 49% or something, which is insane.
Yeah.
Like I don't think the 2019 Ravens team, that was the highest team I had ever seen. Was that
Yeah.
high.
And by the metrics, the Ravens are off the charts, and yet they're
Yeah.
5-6 point dogs to the
Yeah.
9. It's pretty wild to see.
Yeah, man.
So it'll be biblical on Monday night.
Game of the year.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah.
Should be. At least hype wise.
Yeah.
It's gonna be wild, man.
I'm just excited to watch it. I don't really. It's so. I had a take earlier, a couple weeks ago, that I have walked back because I realized that I thought the Ravens Dolphins game was going to be just for the 1 seed. I thought nothing else mattered. The Chiefs come back all their way in. The Ravens can still lose the division. So you can't lose games on purpose. My take last week before I realized all of this was to sit everybody this week.
Really?
And I've since realized we need to ensure things, right? We can't just not play the game.
Well, because I mean, you're right in thinking this game. Honestly, though, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
You know, I mean, it doesn't. But
Which is loser talk. I understand.
Yeah,
that's loser
some
talk.
loser
Yeah.
talk. But
But what the 1 seed could matter, I think, more than ever this year,
I do
especially
too.
when you play teams like the Bills.
Yeah.
Make sure you get those games.
Yeah,
You're
man.
always gonna get that game at home, but getting every game at home.
And
It's
they
super
might,
important.
and giving them the chance to lose.
Yeah.
Making the schedule work out for you.
But I thought the same way. I'm like, please just get out of this game with no injuries.
Yeah, because I was
Yeah.
thinking if you're going to take Week 18 off anyway, if you think you're going to get the 1 seed and you're like, okay, fine, Week 18 we have the 1 seed wrapped up, we won't play anybody. I was like, well then just make that this week. Who cares when
Yeah.
you do it? But I understand you got to
you
play.
don't know.
You got to right.
Yeah,
You don't know what's going to
what
happen.
you have.
Yeah.
Right.
I will say this
But
though.
even then, go ahead.
I'm just gonna say the 49ers think the same way. The
Yeah.
fans and stuff because we're laying
Yeah.
some wood recently.
Yeah, Roquan. Roquan tries to hurt people.
Yeah.
Let's just,
Kyle Hamilton does too.
which is good to an extent. They're not
Right.
trying to hurt
You
guys,
want to be
but
physical.
yeah.
You want to play physical ball, yeah.
But yeah,
they have it locked up.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
need one more win and they're gonna get the
Yeah.
top seed.
So should they? Should they sit people?
I think they should. I think,
Fine.
do it. Just give us a freebie. That'd be
someone
nice.
took
It
out
makes
Brock.
sense though, because if
Like-
for them to sit people, because we saw what happens when Trent Williams is out, when Debo's out. They're so concentrated on a certain amount of guys. They need them to be healthy to make a run.
Yeah.
But the NFC is horrendous, and this year they could probably run and roll into the playoffs with literally zero quarterback again and win games.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I would normally agree with you because the Ravens have to beat the Dolphins.
Right,
They
that's-
have to.
that
beat
was
the
my thought
Dolphins.
originally.
That's it. But I just think I don't think we'll be resting that last week. I think Kansas City's going to win out.
yeah,
And I think we lose this. I mean, we'll get to it later, but I do think we lose this game.
Yeah.
And so that means we'll have to play week 18.
yeah, which is fine.
Right.
We're probably guaranteed to lose one of the two. Right?
Yeah. My thought was more, don't force Lamar and your top guys to play a
Yeah.
short week, flying across the country, come home, have to play the Dolphins on a short week. Try to ensure that you beat them, and that should get you the 1 seed. But I get it.
Yeah.
Right? We got to try.
Yeah.
Gotta try. But it should be fun.
It should be fun. It should be close. I'm surprised the spread is as high as it is. I get it, I
Yeah.
understand it, but you could argue the Niners haven't played a defense even close to being as good as the Ravens.
Yeah. They are getting some of their defensive guys back. Taron Armstead, I think, is coming back, which is because I was going to come on the show and talk about how are we worried about the Niners defense because they're kind of giving up 20, 30 points to teams that aren't very good.
Yeah.
But it's they're missing a couple guys, so they're going to get fully healthy and it'll be a fun one. It'll be a fun one. I'll be locked in. By that point, Christmas night, nothing else to do but just watch some football.
Do you remember the last time the Ravens played on Christmas? Do you all remember?
On Christmas?
Yes. I don't mean to.
I remember New Year's. I remember
yeah.
multiple New Year's.
Multiple. I only remember the one. I can't forget the one.
Tyler Boyd.
Yes.
C.J. Mosley was that not New Year's?
No. Huh. Good question. Was that not New Year's? That was last week of the season.
I thought that
Might
was
have
New
been.
Year's.
Might have been. I thought it was New Year's Day, maybe.
Yeah, New Year's Day. Yeah.
Because
That's what I thought. I don't know. What last Christmas?
the Antonio Brown stretch.
Oh, that's right.
That was on Christmas.
And that knocks out the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to darken the mood. I'm just saying we gotta win this one. We
are
gotta bounce back.
We are in the playoffs.
Yes.
I was getting ready to say, I don't really care what happens this game. Stay healthy.
Yes.
Prove
Nobody
that you're,
get hurt. Yeah.
Play good. Play well. Prove that you're a good team. Prove to the Niners that you can play with them, just in case it is a preview of the Super Bowl.
The thing that's cool so Miami has a tough schedule. So if they get Dallas, us, and the Bills.
Yeah.
If they lose to Dallas this week and we beat the 49ers, we don't have to worry about the result of the Miami game.
No.
We can lose that game and then just beat
Pittsburgh,
which is cool, So that's where it's like
we'll also lose to Pittsburgh somehow.
yeah, I'm sure. We always lose to Pittsburgh.
I was
Lamar
at
Jackson's kryptonite.
I was at Ravens Steelers when it was Mason Rudolph versus Tyler Huntley a couple years ago. The game with the Colts lost to the Jaguars, and the winner of Ravens Steelers would have had a shot at the playoffs.
Yep.
That when the Steelers could have.
Steelers got in.
No,
They didn't get in.
because they needed the Chargers and Raiders to tie on Sunday Night Football, and it went to overtime, and the Raiders kicked a walk-off field goal, and it looked like they were colluding to tie.
I thought that was Ben Roethlisberger's last year, and they got stomped by the Chiefs as the 7 seed in the
because
playoffs.
the tie doesn't make sense either because they both got in. If they tie, it's
You're right.
Why the Steelers?
You're right.
But
you're right. The Steelers got in. I wanted them to tie, because then the Chargers and Raiders would have both gotten in. You're right.
No.
Yeah, Steelers got in.
Isn't there the video of them watching the Jumbotron and all pissed off, or was that the Bengals?
that was later. That was when we beat the Browns.
Okay.
Yes.
That was C.J. Mosley.
That was Yep. We're there.
We're there.
We'll stop talking. Well, we're going to talk a lot more Ravens football. But getting back to the Saturday slate, the Lions are kind of back. The Broncos maybe were smoke and mirrors this whole time.
We knew that, though, right?
Yeah.
I felt like
I don't understand why Sean Payton was yelling at Russell Wilson.
I don't think he was. I think he was yelling
Just directionally.
With him.
Sean Payton kicked a field goal to make a 3-score game a 3-score game. So shout out to him. I think he does hate Russell Wilson. I'm going to be honest.
he might.
But I am glad that they lost because I don't want the Broncos in the playoffs from a fan perspective, just as a watchability perspective.
Ugly, gross football.
Yeah.
And whoever they play, they're going to lose. It literally doesn't matter.
It's weird though, but they do feel like a playoff team to me. They feel like a 6 seed.
Yeah.
They play good defense.
Yeah.
If you're like the Jags, you would not want to play the Broncos.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Jags want to play anybody.
Yeah, it's true. They are a train wreck.
Getting into Sunday, Case Keenum is back and won a football game. The Titans, that one we might have gotten wrong in the preseason.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they'd have to win out to hit their total.
Will Levis gets hurt, which sucks. Because I don't know. What have your thoughts been on Will Levis?
I mean, he's been okay.
Yeah,
He's been enough to roll out next season.
that's what I think.
If Sam Howell can get played, which by the way, why did he get benched?
Oh, Ron Rivera just knows he's fired.
And the problem is, I'm afraid that's working. He's taking Sam Howell down with him.
Yeah.
And I'm actually afraid for Sam Howell that it's gonna work.
Yeah, no,
Because
I
Jacoby
agree.
did too good.
Yeah. Jacoby did really good. He threw 2 touchdowns and 10 passes.
And that's a bad look.
And well, they took 3 minutes to score from the 1-yard line. That was infuriating.
Back to Levis though. I mean, you roll him out next year.
That's what I think.
In my opinion, they're a handicapped team because they're still
yeah.
they have not committed to the rebuild. Even this season, they might not get a top 10 pick, And if they do, it'll be 8, 9,
So
10.
that's what I'm very interested in who starts this week. Assuming Levis is out, are they just going to roll Tannehill out? Because that'd be so dumb. You don't want to win.
Malik.
Play Malik, right?
Yeah.
Because if he's any good, then maybe you trade him.
Right.
And
They invested a lot of capital in Malik Cunningham.
Yeah.
Malik Cunningham. I'm pretty
Malik
sure
Willis.
it Malik Willis. Sorry.
He's ours.
We have Malik Cunningham. Sorry. Yeah, but I think he was like a second-round pick.
Yeah, he was.
So
yeah, it seems like people think they're gonna get Tannehill, but
they shouldn't.
That would be very.
Well, they should for my bet. Yoo-hoo!
But that'd be very dumb.
Yes,
Like,
that'd be dumb.
they should try to lose every game,
Mhm.
or just see what Malik has at least. Like playing Tannehill does you nothing.
Yeah.
Which is what we talked about all year. But it would be just very silly at this point, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I am very interested to see how they do it. But even Derrick Henry said after the game, like he was like emotional because he had like 9 carries for 7 yards.
Oh yeah.
He was like, "This might be the last time I ever play for the Titans." Like, so it sounds like he knows he's gone. Like, so next year they'll have like Tajay Spears, second-year running back. You know,
I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Is Henry a free agent, or do you think they'll trade him?
I think
I thought they signed him to a big deal. But, I mean, that
not
was a while
not
ago.
a huge deal. Yeah.
Maybe it was like a 3-year or something.
Which probably felt huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's a free agent. I'm not 100% sure.
Wow.
1 year sounds right. 1 year left.
He still got it.
Because we're talking about for the
Does he?
Ravens.
Yeah. You don't think so? I think this year is more. But
I mean, their offensive line is
honestly,
horrible.
I don't know his stats off the top of my head, but he's had a couple good games.
He has 10 rushing touchdowns. He has line.
Yeah. He hit
His line was under 10?
It was 9.5. Remember I took it in the parlay?
Yeah, you did. How's that going?
Oh my god.
Sam Howell smashed.
Everything is so good.
Yeah.
Except for Dameon Pierce. That was a huge miss by me.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, that hasn't gone well.
No, and the whole thing is win like 8K. It's like $5 to win 8K, and everything else saying there's like Jordan Love passing touchdowns, Russell Wilson passing touchdowns, smack.
That sucks.
Michael Pittman yards, 800 yards.
He's been awesome.
Smack.
Did you do Drake London? I think you did Drake London. Because I have a Drake London bet, and he's like 50 off.
No, I did DJ Moore receptions. Smack.
He smashed, yeah.
Wow.
Did you do Calvin Ridley? We talked about him on the
No,
spot.
I
He's not
didn't.
going to hit.
I didn't. No.
His is like 950. He's not going to hit that.
We thought he was gonna be great.
Yeah.
We said
We said either he'd be great
boom or
or
bust,
terrible.
yeah.
True.
It seems like he's getting more involved in the offense.
And he
but-
does good when he gets the ball.
Trevor just throws it to everyone.
Yeah.
Which is fair.
Throws it to everyone.
Yeah.
Which,
Which, without Kirk, maybe they should
Yeah.
not
Yes.
throw to everybody. But
He was making plays against Ridley.
yeah.
You knew it wasn't Parker Washington.
Yes, he was not. They want him. They want him so bad.
So I credit to the Texans for winning that game.
Yeah.
No Nico Collins, no Tank Dell, no CJ Stroud. Ridiculous that they can win a game on the road
no
in
Brown.
division.
I like No Brown.
Yeah, he played well. So they're still very much alive in the AFC.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Good for the Texans. Like it sounds like CJ Stroud's going to miss this game against Cleveland, which sucks.
Really? Dang.
Hopefully they get Nico back. Obviously Tank is out, but that hurt some best ball teams with no Nico Collins. But it is what it is.
For sure.
It is what it is. So yeah, like I said, Texans still very much alive. AFC South is a 3-way tie, correct?
Yes, 3-way. Texans, Colts, Jags.
That's
Wow.
insane.
Yeah.
I don't even with no Stroud, I can't see them continuing to win games. But
I took the Titans.
I think
I don't remember. I think I took the Jags.
I think I took the Jags. I think I had the Titans second, though. I thought the Texans was going to be awful.
Yeah,
And
I mean everyone did.
Yeah, we all did.
And Colts, I didn't see this coming because
Yeah.
I mean I thought Anthony Richardson obviously was going to play all year.
And he was looking great.
He was looking good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Gardner going to be a starter next year?
I think so. I think he's decent.
The good thing is for him, he's set for like 5 years.
Yeah. No, he'll be in the league for a while.
Yes, absolutely. I don't see a difference between like Gardner Minshew and Baker Mayfield. Like I know Baker Mayfield's coming off a perfect passer rating game.
Yeah.
But Gardner Minshew could do that. He was good with the Eagles as their backup. I thought he was decent with the Jags. They just had a terrible roster.
I will say, it might be Shane Steichen's a really, really good offensive coach because we're seeing the Eagles sort of not be so good offensively without him, and the Colts sort of with spare parts. I mean, Pittman's very good.
Yeah.
You know, Downs is good. Alec Pierce is good.
They're all fine.
Yeah. But with Gardner Minshew at quarterback, and it's like for them to be doing what they're doing is pretty insane. So I think that's a huge testament to Shane Steichen. He should probably win Coach of the Year.
Huh.
That'll be decided these past
Him or
next 3
D'Amico,
weeks.
I feel like.
Yeah.
But I think
It should be Kyle Shanahan, though. It should be. Sometimes it's so easy,
Yeah.
you know?
Someone that shouldn't be is the favorite, and I can't remember who it is. Producer? Can
Like
you,
Stefanski. Stefanski should win Coach of the Year.
I think he's up there. It's someone.
Hold on.
Producer Alex is on it.
Nice.
I can't remember. who it
McDaniel
is.
dropped off. Oh, it's Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell's going to be the favorite, right?
Maybe.
So many good candidates this year.
But like he shouldn't be the favorite. The
Dan.
Lions were supposed to do this,
I guess, yeah.
right?
But they're the Lions. You know, if they win,
it's Dan.
it's Dan Campbell. If they win the NFC North, it'd be the first time they've ever done it.
Yeah.
That's
You know
nuts.
that? That's insane. That's wild.
He's still deserving.
I guess I just look at it in the context of like we're talking about. Houston was supposed to be
Yeah.
very good. Indy was supposed to be very good. You got two like first-year head coaches, right? Both, I think, first-year head coaches that are doing sort of unprecedented things with like they're both going to have winning records at the end of the season. One's doing it with a rookie quarterback. One's doing it with a backup quarterback. Like with teams that don't really have. Well, Indy has a history of success to an extent, but teams that don't exactly have the best success in the past. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Speaking, going back to the NFC South, who do you think wins the NFC South?
You know. Oh, God. You know.
I mean, it should. Yeah, I mean,
I hope
he-
it is.
he
I
called
hope
it.
it
I
is.
hope it is. They seem like the
You
most
know.
deserving.
They're fun.
That's another thing, by the way. My division parlay, that's one off too, and it was the Rams that I picked over the dang 49ers. I picked the Bucks to win. That one's to win 100K.
Wow, dude.
And the only one wrong right now is the Rams.
I think I have one that's close as well, but I have the Vikings.
They have it.
we
They
did.
have a
I took
shot.
But the Rams got no
Vikings.
shot.
Yeah.
The Ra-
Yeah,
No, the Rams are dead.
yeah. At least win the division.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
stinks.
Like getting the Bucks right felt so good.
Yeah, man. You were on them. You were on them.
Still might not, but
we gave you a lot. Well, yeah, true. Well, I mean, but still, like their performance.
They look the
I'll
best.
give it to you just because of their performance. You know.
Hey.
I thought they'd be last. I thought they were.
Baker should be comeback player of the year. Maybe Flacco. Baker.
Flacco's the favorite right now. Don't you
No,
think
he
it's-
is not.
well,
Are you sure?
there's still
Hamlin.
tomorrow.
No.
Yeah.
Well, okay, but besides
Flacco's next,
Hamlin, besides
The
Hamlin,
non-dead person category.
yeah.
Do you think there's ever a window where you could have even picked Flacco?
Like in the beginning of the year.
No. Well, yeah, that he
Like
definitely
week
wasn't there.
8,
Yeah.
he was not.
But like when he came on, do you think he was like plus 10K or they just shoved him in there?
I don't know.
recently?
They probably just shoved him in.
Yeah, my guess you couldn't get him a good number.
Honestly, the Flacco thing, just a little overrated, right? Just a little overrated.
He got very lucky.
These past 2 games, he's been very lucky.
Like it's fun. It's a little.
Yeah.
It's over the top. Not over the top. I am very happy for this.
Yeah,
I
me
think-
too. Me too.
I will never say it's over the top because he's Joe, and it's very funny that this is happening.
Yes.
I'm done with it as a Ravens fan. I am
Yeah,
done
that's
with
fair.
all of it. I am ready for them to lose games. I am ready for Flacco to throw 5 picks.
Call me crazy. He got put into the 2012 Ravens system.
Yeah.
Great defense.
Yes. dude.
He's got the over the top
Yep.
receivers and
Yeah,
Amari.
yep,
Cooper.
Monster tight end.
Ray Rice out the backfield with Jerome Ford.
That's always been the thing with Flacco. You give him a good team, and
Yeah.
he'll get it done. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, they are low-key kind of dangerous. When they get
Yeah.
to the
Yeah.
playoffs.
No,
We've
I'm
been
done
saying
with
it on this podcast. How was he a free agent?
Yeah.
How is he not getting picked up? You know, he is so much better than all these other people.
It is crazy the amount of backup quarterbacks that are playing right now, and the amount of backup quarterbacks that are actually kind of playing well.
They are.
Yeah, it's cool.
But yeah, I am done with Flacco. I am done with the Browns.
It's because it's the Browns.
Right? No.
Yeah.
Look, if you're a Ravens fan, you know how this ends, and you know Flacco's coming.
With the Super Bowl.
Yeah, like you know Flacco's coming into the bank as a 7 seed and playing the Ravens as the
Playing
1
his
seed,
maybe his best game of his
and
career.
yeah, going for 400.
Yeah.
What do we
yards.
do? What do we do as fans there?
I'll bring my Flacco jersey and I'll drop it at the stadium. I will just donate it to the M&T
Yeah.
Bank Stadium. Let it get buried there. Because I've got a. Who doesn't have a Flacco Reebok jersey? Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I do. It's
So-
in my laundry room right now.
But if they get in and they play anybody else, I'm putting that baby on. I'm putting that Joe Flacco jersey right on.
It's true.
But yeah, I can't have him come to Baltimore and ruin my life.
Yeah.
I think we'll get out of it. Like I think we will avoid it somehow. I hope.
It just seems too perfect. Right now. It's just trending, and I can't stand it.
So let's say we're the 1 seed, Browns the 5 seed. They beat the AFC South team. They come in and
They
they
beat the
play the
Jags.
Ravens. Yeah, they beat the Jags. Well, right, they'd probably beat the Colts or something too.
Yeah,
Like,
whoever it is. Yeah.
and they play the Ravens. If they beat the Ravens, is he the most hated person in Baltimore?
That's the thing.
Or do you think he gets a pass?
I can't do it. No, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
hate the guy. I'm gonna hate Myles Garrett or something. Like I'll just hate everybody
We'll
else.
just deflect it.
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's rough, man. That is a crazy legacy.
No, I mean, you'd have to just like in
Yeah.
the stadium, you'd boo it.
Yeah,
But like
right.
after the game, like you'd have to just like give him props.
Would you still be like, yeah, playoff Flacco, the elite
Yeah.
dragon?
Yeah.
Because the funniest thing about it is Browns fans have spent their entire life telling us that Flacco sucked and whatever.
Yeah.
So now they'd have to be like, Flacco's going to win us a Super Bowl.
That's true.
What odds can we get them at? Just in case. Just
I will not be. I can't do that.
a little
I-
backup.
Can't do it.
Call me crazy. I think there's an outside chance they still miss the playoffs.
Yeah.
Sure,
They are
absolutely.
super fortunate.
But they're going to get Houston without C.J. Stroud, it seems.
yeah,
Like,
they'll get,
which gets them to 10 wins.
but they'll get like the Bengals.
Yeah.
It's worth a little sprinkle.
No, and I can't.
It's
I can't.
21,000.
I don't see it.
Great.
He's thrown like multiple picks in every single game.
He should have thrown more last game.
Yeah.
And also, Darnell Mooney should have just caught the ball. And,
that's
the Bears would have won the
That's
game.
wild.
It's probably the
I love
Flacco magic.
It didn't,
That's
it,
true.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You need a
It
little
just
bit of
keeps
stuff to happen.
happening. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, man.
I did want to talk a little Bears.
Oh no. Because I know where this is going.
I don't
right?
think you do.
Oh, okay.
They have to move on from Justin Fields.
Wow. Thanks, Ben.
I think Justin Fields is a good quarterback. Like, verging, like, I think he's serviceable.
Yeah.
I think they have to move on from him in the fact that they are going to open a window with all these picks, all this cap room, right?
Yeah.
Trading for Montez Sweat was a very smart decision in my book. So they're going to open this window. They should do it with a quarterback that's going to be on a rookie deal for the next 4 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fair.
So I just think Fields is at the wrong place at the wrong time. I think I'm terrified he's going to Pittsburgh, and he's going to be their Pittsburgh starting quarterback because I think he's decent.
Yeah.
And I think he's playing okay football.
I thought he was almost like the Falcons are almost assuredly
Sure.
going to get him.
That'd be cool. I'd like to see that actually.
With that running offense and the
Yeah.
run game, they can already run the ball, and they have weapons.
That would make
I thought
sense.
that,
Yeah,
I think the Steelers are tuned on Kenny Pickett actually. I think Kenny Pickett bought himself more time.
maybe. I don't know. But my question about the Bears was more, is Eberflus doing enough to save his job at this point? Because a month ago he was dead. But now he's a defensive guy. Defense is playing great.
Yeah.
I just don't
It's
know.
just they've blown three. I saw something.
Yeah.
They've blown 3 leads where they were up in the fourth quarter. They at one point had like an 85% win chance.
Fair enough.
And that's just,
Yeah.
And I get it. They don't have good like talent or anything like that. but
Yeah.
You got to show us something.
Yeah.
He's been abysmal.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you could argue, yeah, if they had won like a couple
Yeah.
more games. But
I mean, if they beat the Browns, it was almost like they could sneak in. Like,
yeah, they were still alive in the playoff hunt. Yeah.
I think they'll be smart. I think they'll just move towards the future.
I think that's the right thing to do for them.
Yeah.
But you take out the first month of the season, they lost their first 4 games. Since then, I think they're 1 game over, or at least at 500.
They're 5-5.
Yeah, so that's pretty impressive.
It's not bad.
Just given where they came from, they look like
Yeah.
the worst team in the league.
They did, yeah.
So, it's interesting to see how they've progressed through the year. And we were talking about how they're gonna blow everything up, and now it's like, well, I just don't know about it. Like,
I don't know what to keep.
I think it's a much tougher decision at this point. So,
I've always been for like coach stability. Like we'll get to the Steelers probably in a minute, but like when you fire a coach after 2 years, it's like they didn't really have that much time to like develop a foundation. When you consider what the Bears were before he even got there, I mean, no wonder they're off.
Yeah.
Like when Fields got there, it was Nagy. It wasn't even
Right.
Eberflus.
Yeah.
So like I don't know. When you cycle through coaches like that, you're never going to develop like a good stable foundation.
yeah.
I guess it would depend on how the players feel about him at this point. Then,
Yeah.
probably.
exactly.
Which I don't know.
I don't know
think any
either.
of us
Yeah.
know.
Very tough to say.
It's a tough question.
Yeah,
I'd lean they move on from him though.
I would
if you
think
made
so.
Me think if you made me pick,
I would think so.
just redo it.
Especially if you're going to get a new quarterback, just
Right.
marry the two and go from there. But I don't know. They've been an interesting team.
Yeah.
I think they've got a decent future ahead of them. I mean, they have so much availability with the draft picks in the cap room. So
Yeah.
NFC playoffs we were talking about a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you want to see in the playoffs? Would you rather the Rams? Would you rather the Seahawks?
The Rams.
The Rams.
I agree.
The Rams. Well, the Seahawks are a fun story though, and they do
Are
have
they?
a lot of young talent. The Seahawks are a quarterback away from being a really good team, in my opinion.
I don't know. The secondary is a little rough. It was good for a while, and now they're
Yeah.
like benching Tariq Woolen and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
so the defense is, although they played great.
They played good. They played
That
good.
might be more about the Eagles. I'm telling you guys, the Eagles,
Yeah.
the Eagles are this year's Vikings.
Yeah.
You have to forget about what they did last year. The Eagles have not
And also,
been good.
if you remember their road last year, I've been saying this, but like they played the Giants and then they played the Niners with no quarterbacks.
Yeah,
So, I mean, it was maybe the easiest road of all time to get to the Super Bowl. Played great in the Super Bowl, but
That's what's sticking, and that's what's sticking in my mind. I'm like,
Right.
well, if the refs didn't call that penalty, like they
true.
win the Super Bowl.
but the Chiefs did not punt the entire game.
they did not.
No. Their defense was terrible in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
So,
and it's been bad this year.
yeah.
I think James Bradbury gave up every catch on the last drive.
That's the thing that's wild to me is there like 2 years ago he was the best quarterback in the NFL. That like by far. Like,
Very
he was insane.
very Namdi Asamoah like.
Yeah, dude. What a pull.
I was a big Namdi Asamoah guy.
Me too, man. The Raiders.
98 in Madden.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and then he went to the Eagles.
Yeah, and he went to the-
tried
yeah.
to be a dream team.
He was that dream team.
Yeah. I think we're back. Technical difficulties there. Not exactly sure where we left off. But we are going to do the halftime, though, and then we'll get back into a little bit more NFL before we leave for the night. A little bit of miscommunication after the health and safety protocols of last week. So we have 2 desserts tonight, which is great.
Fine. Fine.
One is my wife, Victoria. She has made Nutella shortbread crunch bars, which is on the right here. Well, your left, my right. There it is. Ben?
And Rachel has gifted us brown butter toffee espresso cookies.
Do they all have toffee in them?
They all.
Okay, good. Okay. I love toffee.
Oh, okay.
There's a no nuts and a nuts. What's the nut in the nut?
Good question. That I don't know the answer. to.
That's why I asked. Is toffee a nut?
I think so.
Like you hear about like toffee nut pudding, right? Is that it? Never mind. I'm just gonna eat. I don't know anything.
That's good. Yep. I think it is a nut. But you like them?
I like toffee.
I don't think it's a nut.
Like Heath bars? Oof.
Oh, Heath Part smack.
All right, do we start with the same thing?
It's not a. Wait. It's mixed with nuts, but it's not nuts.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
These look awesome.
I was gonna eat this first.
Okay.
It
You're
doesn't-
eating
I don't
that
know if it
first?
matters.
I'm doing it first.
Okay,
That's
great.
far.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, that's good. I'm not a big Nutella person either.
Wow, that's really good.
I am.
Yeah.
That's a thick boy too.
What we got going on top? Like a strudel?
It's slow. I don't know.
You know what this tastes like? Did you all eat the cereal bars as kids?
Yeah.
Tastes exactly like the Cinnamon
does.
Toast Crunch cereal bar.
It does.
This is awesome. This is really good.
That's a great call.
Wow.
Like the breakfast ones?
I never had the cinnamon toast crunch one.
You didn't eat them?
Really?
Go
Yeah.
grab one.
You
I
had the
think it's-
Cheerios one, didn't you?
Honey Nut Cheerios and Fruit Loops.
Both good.
Fruit Loop was good.
My mom would never get the fruit. Oh man, this is good.
That's fire.
Fellas, that's one of the best things I've had on this podcast. That's really good, man.
Really good.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 9.3. That was really good.
I was gonna say 9-1.
Yeah, I'm 9-1.
I'm 9-1.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's really good.
Yeah, that's fire.
Big fan.
Big
Wow.
fan.
I'm too.
Are one of those for Rachel? Yeah, I have been somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank God. I want her to taste that. That's really good. Wow.
Yeah. Also during the halftime though today, I will be teaching the boys how to play basketball offense because we're joining a league in a couple weeks, and a couple,
I don't know how to play.
have either of you either played organized basketball?
No.
when I was 6.
All right.
I've never.
All right.
I played with you guys. That was my organized basketball.
This marker is very strong smelling.
Yeah, I was definitely never taught how to run an offense. I watch basketball all the time, but it's very different.
And we're watching Baylor just falter down the stretch here. It's
Oh,
demoralizing.
cool.
Yeah, it is. Baylor's like my kryptonite.
Can I jump into the toffee cookie?
Yeah, should we do that? I thought we'd do some plays. We'd
Okay.
all finish up on.
Oh yeah, let's
Or-
do that, yeah.
Yeah, is that cool? Or you want to get
I'm just
into?
excited for it.
Starting
we're good. We're
starting
good.
in the cookie. Yeah.
All right. We'll eat the cookie.
I gotta set some stuff up, you know.
Okay.
Do whatever you want.
Whoa.
All right. Well, I gotta eat it.
Wow. I'll be honest. When she said espresso, I was like, ooh, like, because I usually don't like coffee flavored desserts, but this is good, man. This is good. Big fan.
I'm glad you reminded me what the flavors, because I was like, what is that? Because I don't drink coffee ever.
Yep.
I was like, but that's good. That's good. Oh, good.
Two of my favorite flavors are toffee and coffee. So this is happening.
Wow, this is really good.
The cookie.
What the?
We're doing the combo.
Oh, baby.
Oh, baby.
That's probably delicious.
Honestly, we should have done a combined score because these are really good. These are like breakfast desserts. Wow.
Wow.
Wow, this is really good. I think the best part of this is like the butter. She used on it. So
Yeah.
you really taste the butter in it.
Brown butter.
Sorry. The middle.
We're up one. We're up one.
Delaware's up one.
Oh!
Come on, boys.
Man, I love me some coffee. 9-2.
Wow.
Yeah. This is good, man.
I liked it way more than I thought I was going to, because, like I said, I don't do anything coffee.
Yeah.
I'll go 9-1 again.
I think I'm a 9-1 too. What?
That felt illegal.
Yeah, I was about to do the same thing. And then I was like, but man, like that. It's kind of illegal, right? Like,
9.
I'm gonna go 9.09.
Yeah. 9099.
Yeah. Wow. Double dessert days are just a great time.
The ladies are bringing it.
It's ridiculous.
It's insane, actually.
What we got?
What we got,
First
Ben?
play.
Just how to attack. Oh, sorry. Just how to attack a normal 2-3 zone. Because look, let's face it. This league is gonna be a bunch of guys like us, for the most part. No one's playing man defense unless you really need to. So we're gonna face a lot of 2-3 zone.
You think so? Really?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I figured it'd be easier to do like man defense.
It's a lot of running.
It just you got to keep up, and
Yeah.
in zone you can take a break from it. Like not really, but like a little bit. You don't have to be like so locked in, you know. So I'm gonna use the red for the defense. So you know, red just in there 2-3. Typically, to attack a 2-3, you're gonna want someone. Will be the O's. You have your point guard up top. You want someone. Usually, someone a bigger person at the high post here, right at the foul line.
Okay.
Their job is to distribute. You'll have someone baseline usually, and then a couple guys in the corners. Roughly, that'll be the setup,
Okay.
right? We're O's, not X's.
Kind of setting up your own 2-3.
Yeah. So you'll have your point guard, right? These guys will flash as needed. Your goal is to get the open shot on the wing. That'll typically be open. That's what the 2-3 gives up, or in the corners. But really, your goal is to get it to the high post man, because that way he'll either be able to turn and shoot if no one steps up. He can turn and drive if they're overplaying. But really, he's gonna be looking out each way, right? At maybe baseline. Maybe this guy steps up, drop down to the baseline for an easy layup, right? Or this guy, you flash up here, easy three this side. Pretty much, you want to get it into the middle somehow, even if it's the point guard driving. If you catch it on the wing, you beat your first defender as a driver, and then look to kick opposite side.
How do you beat them?
So like,
Do you have to dribble to beat them?
typically yes,
Yes.
but like in a 2-3, and if it's not a very good one, if it's not a very tight one, not a very cohesive one, what you'll get is when you're over here, you'll get past the ball, And like, this guy won't be in time, and this guy won't be able to get to you. So it's a pretty easy to step in, like just.
And then what?
So maybe if in this scenario, let's say, I'll try to erase some of these lines as I go. So let's say this is you. Mm-hmm. Right, you're right here. You came and got the ball. Mm-hmm. You flashed up. You're about here. You don't like the shot. You didn't catch it in a good shooting posture.
Never like the shot.
Especially if you're on this side, right? You'll have your right hand.
Yeah.
This side. Typically, this guy will just try to like come down and like protect the shot.
Just like
yeah. So you can probably just like kind of like back your way, like one dribble, and just like use your body a little bit to guard against this guy, and then this person has to make a decision.
True.
To either come get you, to which point this guy could probably pop to the corner. He could sit here. The high post man is probably going to roll a little bit, and then this guy's probably going to flash up here. So if this guy overplays, you could dribble in, pass back out.
Okay.
You could pass down. You could pass behind you. You could pass straight across. Or if there's no one in front of you, take a one dribble pull up jumper. Okay, well, like you could.
You should.
We're gonna need you to shoot the basketball.
Yes, you're gonna.
Good way to learn is to watch some old school Syracuse.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
You watch,
Yeah.
but like if you watch a game, a team play against Syracuse, you'll see what they're doing. Like two guys might start down here, and then one flashes to the high post. The thing about zones that a lot of people don't realize is you should screen them. It seems counterintuitive because you want to screen man, but if you screen this guy, typically, especially in a pickup like setting like we're gonna be playing in, it's gonna be pretty easy for this point guard to get around that. And now he's got so many options. You can pop here, and you're gonna be wide open. You could roll, and you'll be wide open. The point guard's probably gonna get easily around there for an easy drive and kick opportunity.
Yeah.
So screen the top of the zone works a lot. If you're down here, right, you might want to switch sides. You might call someone over, like you might call this person over, and you might screen this guy or screen the middle guy, or you know what I mean, like try to just create openings.
So while this is happening, what's the guy in the corner do? Does he usually just stay there, or is he trying to read where this guy's going?
Yeah.
And determining.
Kind of following the ball. So like where it makes sense. So like if the ball's here, you're never getting the ball if you're down in the corner. So he's going to flash up to the high wing.
Okay.
Like I said, he could like this. If the ball's here, the center typically is at the high post, or whoever can handle the ball reasonably well. He might go pick the backside of this guy, so that if this is a shooter, he gets an open lane for a pass straight across, something like that. Essentially, when you're playing in zone, you just always want to have your eyes on the ball, keep moving to the open area, and just not take too long to make a decision.
I've been watching a lot of Rockets, and Alperen Sengun is very good in that role.
Yeah,
but he's not a very good player. So
yeah, so like I mean, if they play man, it's going to be just a lot of like pick and roll. Yeah, it's just a lot of setting picks on the ball handler and like rolling, and then just looking for open shots. You'll figure out man pretty easily. Zones can be a little confusing if you haven't played against them.
Yeah,
but yeah, if you're probably going to be on the wings most of the time, so help because like they could trap the ball handler, whoever. So make yourself available.
Yeah,
and then just you're always looking for the pass or the shot, like whatever's open. Don't be afraid to drive the ball because
then you create space.
Yeah,
for other people.
You create a ton of openings by beating those first couple defenders.
Cool.
Any questions?
No, I don't think so. Do we have any lefties? Do you know? Is anybody a lefty? Because the guy over here, if he can't drive in with it, like I can't drive in with my left hand. I'm gonna be straight up, and they're gonna find that out pretty quickly. So like, I feel like I have to be on the right side because I can drive in with my right hand pretty well. But
so
left
I mean,
hand ain't happening.
You could set it up that way though, like to be right hand dominant. If that,
Yeah.
like
You could always rotate too.
I mean, there's gonna be a lot of rotation. So even if you start down the one side, you might not finish there because you're gonna want to go behind the zone and see if like they're not communicating right. Like because if these guys all step up, you can pretty easy like just kind of like walk behind here kind of and just like see what's going on and like
Cherry pick.
Yeah. So
I don't know. I'm not gonna be good, man. But I'm pretty confident with my like movement and stuff.
yeah. So when you get like you could set up if you're coming up this way, just like if you're coming to catch the ball off this wing, you just keep going with your right hand.
Yeah.
if you're coming up this way, you just have to be able to easily like rip through that first defender to get to your right hand, if that's what you're trying to do. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. Okay. And for go ahead.
I was just gonna say, when worst comes to worst, you just kind of like use your body, try to don't get trapped, and if you get trapped, just try to throw it off the person.
Yeah.
Out of bounds. So I don't know. That's all I got.
Okay.
What was your question?
Defense. Are we playing a 2-3 zone?
I'm sure. Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we'll play some man at some point. I'm sure we'll need to, but yeah, we're probably gonna play like 2-3 zone.
Okay.
So when would we need to?
If they're really cooking us, like it's the second half and they've gotten like 7 straight buckets on like pretty open shots and they're like hitting their threes.
Yeah.
Then we'll probably have to go to. You could go to 3-2, which prevents some of that, but we'll probably have to go to man.
Okay. Okay. So when we're and I hate to get into specifics because our audience probably didn't care, but it'll probably be like you and Anwar down low, and then all forwards like whoever wants it basically at that point because it's really important that the big man is the middle guy.
Yeah, I like someone that's long up top to be disruptive. Yeah,
sold.
Yeah.
Hey, I have a pretty long wingspan for some of my my size.
That's what I'm saying. If you can be disruptive to not let these passes to the high post guy get there, or like just make things harder, it goes a long way when you.
And when let's say the guy gets the ball in the high post too. This is the defensive end. Am I always crashing down if I'm up top, or like if they have the ball in the high post and you're up against him? Am I always pressing in? Am I always letting the 3 happen because I'm pressing in to get the ball out of that guy's?
It depends on what side, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like if it's straight down the middle, it's hard.
Right.
This center is always going to step up.
Right. I just want to know if like one of the X's should come down.
You should.
We don't want him getting the ball. That disrupts the whole thing.
Yeah. You should crash down just to make it difficult, but not to the point like you can't really double team it because there's easy ways to get out of that.
Yeah.
When he's in the middle of the floor, you can't really trap it. So you're just coming down to you want to get between him and a person that wants to get the ball.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we're back again. Let's talk about this week's slate of games. I think we ran through a lot of last week already. Like we already talked about before, Ravens 49ers is obviously the one that everyone's most looking forward to. Could be Super Bowl preview. Should be game of the year. A lot going into it. Very excited to watch. Whatever happens, happens. Yeah, I don't know.
I can't go through another Christmas loss. I'm going to be honest, fellas. Even though it doesn't mean that much. Because if the 49ers win, they're the Super Bowl favorites. Like everyone's going to they're winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I think that's them already. Like
you think? I don't know.
Yeah. The only thing that can happen is we flip the script, I guess.
Yeah. Which do we even want to? Like, do we want that burden on us? You know, like, it's true. I don't know. I think it'll be a great game. Like I said, very excited to watch. I'm just hoping that everyone stays healthy.
Yep.
So, go Ravens.
Go Ravens.
But, yeah, it should be fun. It's fun to have that matchup this late in the season. It seems like the NFL backloaded a lot of these schedules. Like, there's so many games that still have to be played, which is interesting. So, a lot of stuff still to sort out. These wild card pictures are ridiculous at this point.
Yeah, they are.
So,
it should clear up like this week, as soon as this week. Though,
yeah,
because a ton of teams are like playing each other, and
yeah. I think we talked a little bit Browns Texans. No C.J. Stroud potentially, or it seems like no C.J. Stroud for Houston. So I guess we're just doing Joe Flacco, another win, whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's in Houston. Maybe Houston can pull out another one.
Yeah.
Which would be big for them. I guess that would get them to 9 wins and have the tiebreaker over Cleveland. So that would be a big deal.
That'd be awesome for them.
Yeah. It's already been a successful season for Houston, no matter what happens.
Yes, that's very true. They're a little earlier.
They're way early, yeah. Especially with CJ. No one expected this.
Yeah, it's in Houston. Yeah, I mean, they could win that game.
If they start getting these wins without CJ, then I say D'Amico.
Yeah.
For sure.
Fair.
Would be coach there.
Fair. I think that's totally fair. We had the Fraud Bowl, Cowboys Dolphins. Yeah, I don't know what to expect.
Yeah, that was one of the most satisfying things this weekend, or this past weekend, was the Bills just running all over the Cowboys.
That is one we didn't talk about. You're right.
But yes, the Fraud Bowl. I'm glad that you put it that way. They're the same team. They just play in different conferences. Go Cowboys. Come on, baby. You can do it.
The Cowboys are kind of a mess away from home.
Yes.
This game is in Miami. I expect Tyreek will be back. Miami obviously just ran all over the place on the Jets last week. Yeah, Dallas. I think Buffalo's playing good football. It was still surprising that it was that bad.
Yes, that was pretty crazy.
I know Dallas was coming off the Philly win. Like, I get what was going on, but
It's not that they won; it's how they won. Just
Yeah.
like running the ball like mercilessly, like immediately in the first quarter they were down like 14-0. It's like, oh wow.
Miami's gonna be no different either.
yeah, you would expect. I did see today that the entire Miami starting offensive line missed practice, so that's a problem.
Could be a rest day.
It could be, but they could. They already were down a few starting offensive linemen the past couple weeks, so that could be an issue.
Yeah.
We didn't mention the Bills. We should. They are playing very good football.
Yes.
Well, wait.
What?
Yeah, a little late for that.
Yeah, like they should have been doing this. Like you mentioned how that they ran the ball down their throats. Like they could have done that all year.
Yeah.
They have a good running back. They have
Yeah.
the best, most physical, mobile quarterback in the league.
That's true.
That can run over anybody. So I don't understand why it took them this long to figure out what their game plan should be, but they've arrived. And they were missing some key defensive pieces, and it just didn't matter. So good for them.
Yeah.
It's fun to watch them play again, which is ideal for the league. No one wants to play them in the playoffs.
That's right. Nobody wants it.
It's very funny how they went from kind of the laughing stock to all of a sudden it's like, are the Bills going to win the Super Bowl?
Yeah. Are they the best team in the AFC? Yeah, I don't know.
Not yet.
No. I also think they're still that team, too. Like, they're still the team that lost to the
Yeah.
Patriots. They're still the team that lost to the Jets. Like, they could definitely...
Lost to the Broncos.
Yes. Like, they played the Chargers this week, and it would be hilariously Bills if they lost.
If they lose to Easton Stick, they should not be allowed to have a franchise.
That's true.
He's bad.
It was rough.
Yep.
I don't know what I was going to say.
Cowboys offense.
Cowboys bad away from home. Just it's so weird. It's so different.
Bad spot.
Bad spot
I can't...
for Miami.
Ooh.
Right?
I kind of like Dallas. I think
I
Dallas
do
wins
too.
the game.
I do.
I think at least Dallas beat the crap out of Philly. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Why is
like-
it a bad
you
spot
like
for
the
Dallas?
Dolphins?
What you just said that? Wait, Dallas on the road?
Yeah,
yes,
Okay, there's that.
I understand.
And Miami's like the best run game.
I understand. I'm a stupid human being. I can tell you everything.
What's the line?
It's like 2.5.
I just think the Dolphins' defense
Wow.
stinks.
It's
I don't
been
think,
better though.
but like against like who? Against like the Jets and the Patriots.
Well, they had that stretch of games, right?
They let up a whole bunch of points to the Raiders. Let up a whole bunch. They blew the game against the Titans.
That's true.
Every time they play a good team, they lose because their
lose.
defense isn't good. Like I get it with Miami. I don't know. They're the same team. The Cowboys and Dolphins are the same team. They have a whole bunch of top tier talent, but whenever they play a good team, they just lose. So it's so fitting that they're playing each other.
It's a game that should be a shootout and should be a great game
Yeah.
to watch, but it sounds like it's gonna be a blowout one way or the other.
Yeah,
Probably.
It feels like the Cowboys' defense should be the difference in the game. They have the better defense than Miami.
Is Tyreek good to go?
I'm assuming he was streaming today, so that's what I'm basing my.
Waddle's back. Waddle looked great,
Yeah,
He did.
you know, and they can run the ball with anybody.
He'll be out in the first 5 minutes.
yeah, he'll get hurt.
He'll come back.
It's insane. I understand. I'm gonna make a lot. I could make a lot of points for the Dolphins, and then I'll just be like, yeah, but the Cowboys they lost last week, so this bounce back. Hello. Why did you? I just.
Yeah,
I don't know.
why the Dolphins? What?
I mean, again, the run game, it's in Miami. The pass game, like
Yeah.
I don't see the Cowboys being able to keep up with the Dolphins if it gets that way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's fair.
that's fair.
That is fair. I thought it was a bad spot for Miami just because they're coming off such a big win, and then they have to come to Baltimore next week.
But
So-
Look
then
ahead.
they expect
the
to
Ben
win that.
Laberge Classic.
Like it was a big point win, but it wasn't like a huge win for them.
I guess that's true. I don't know. That should be a fun game.
It's just whoever loses this game, it's almost catastrophic because they're exactly who you thought they were, and they're not threatening anyone, and they're complete laughsters and jokesters.
Here's the issue that I'm finding. Like, because I want to do the same thing that you're doing. I want to write off these teams. The issue is nobody's besides the Niners, nobody's dominant.
No.
So the Cowboys, if the Cowboys lose this game, they still could go to the NFC Championship, and I wouldn't be like, whoa, that's the craziest thing.
Because that's them losing to the second best team in the AFC.
Right. So, and if the Dolphins lose and they go to the AFC Championship or go to the Super Bowl even, I would still be like,
honestly, that would be shocking for me.
Really?
The Dolphins, I'm just not threatened by. I'm not. They
clip that.
I'm not threatened by the Dolphins. Seriously, I'm not. I'm not threatened by the Dolphins. I think they lose. I think they lose to the
I was
Chiefs.
sitting next to you at the top of M&T
Dude,
Bank
yes,
Stadium.
I know. Yes, you're
when the
right.
Ravens blew a 20-point lead.
You're absolutely correct. That absolutely happened. That's totally on the Ravens. That was pathetic. But that was like a 1 of 100 chance happening. It happened. You're absolutely right. That is like their most impressive win over the past 2 years.
It is.
You know, I don't think they're going to beat Buffalo. I don't think they beat the Ravens. I don't think they beat the Chiefs. I think they're on a totally a lower level than all those teams.
I think they could beat the Chiefs. I don't know if the Chiefs are any good.
They've been stomped by the Chiefs, Eagles, and Bills. Like, they're just not that. I don't know. I feel better about the Cowboys than I feel better about the Dolphins.
I think.
What do you think the spread on the game is next week? Regardless of what happens this week. What do you think?
I think this week matters.
Really?
So it's tough to say.
Yeah.
But
4.5.
I would say at current power ratings, it might get to 6. Ravens. I think the Ravens in the power rankings are probably 2 to 3 points better on a neutral field, and then you add in home field. That's roughly where I'd be at.
I don't know.
It's not gonna be 10.
That doesn't add up with what we've seen from the Dolphins, though. I mean, do you want to know the Dolphins' most impressive victory in the season? It's the Broncos. It's when they beat the Broncos 70-20. Broncos are 7-7. Meh. You know. The Ravens stopped the Lions.
They haven't beat a winning record team?
They have not
No,
beat
they
a
have
winning
not.
record team. They're 0-4.
Same with the Cowboys.
The
Well,
Cowboys
besides
are-
the Eagles.
They're
Besides the
1-4.
Eagles.
I'm with you. My point is the Chiefs aren't the Chiefs right now. They still employ Kadarius Toney, which is
He single-handedly has lost him 2 games.
I mean, even this week he had another
Yes,
ball
he
go off
did.
his hands for an interception. So they're doing that. They just don't look right. The Bills, they're playing good football now, but they're gonna be a wild card team. Well, I guess they could win the division. Fair enough. They could beat Miami and we can.
Yeah, I mean, I think they have a pretty good chance of winning the division.
Fair enough.
Actually.
Fair enough. They do. I actually agree.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna be I'm not gonna say it's crazy for Miami to go beat Buffalo.
Yeah.
But beat Buffalo, Kansas City, and then Baltimore all in a row.
I just don't think you're gonna have to.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Buffalo, Kansas City, and then the Colts, who has somehow gotten into the AFC Championship.
Yeah, I think Miami will get, if they were to lose a division, they'll be the 5. I would assume.
You get the Texans.
So they'll get the
They get
Texans,
the
Colts, or
Texans,
Jags,
right.
who they'll beat.
Right.
And
they'll
then
play the 1.
somehow the 7 or the 6 will have won.
Yeah.
So they'll play the Chiefs. And I think they could probably get their revenge and beat the Chiefs. And somehow the Ravens lost. So now they're playing the Joe Flacco Cleveland Browns in the AFC Championship. And when that all happens, you owe me a lot of money.
All right. I don't see it.
I don't.
I get it. I get why people like them. They have a great, talented offense.
I'm not super pro Dolphins either. I'm just saying it's hard for me to write off any team this year because everyone
stinks.
Everyone sucks.
Yeah, they're not
don't know.
fully dominant. Because we talked about that. We were like, the Dolphins and the 49ers look dominant at the beginning of the season.
Mm-hmm.
They're not that team.
Yeah.
But they can beat a team, as can
Sure.
those first 6 teams.
Yeah.
Like, we could lose to any of these teams.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Which sucks. Which is scary.
Yeah.
Because it feels like this is our year. It's our year.
Our year.
It does. It feels like this. Like, I was not on the Ravens bandwagon, all right? But what I've seen, okay? Like,
Yeah.
You got to give it to the Ravens.
Yeah.
They're playing really good football. And for me, and we'll get to the Eagles too, but, when you win ugly, but all of a sudden it turns into a blowout, when that Jacksonville game, we didn't play that great, We just kind of pulled away. We're just so much better than that. And I think that,
Yeah. Jacksonville gave a ton of opportunities in the first half, but the second half, besides the blown coverage for the Ravens,
I mean, they just ran all over them.
Yeah.
They just bullied them, and I think that just tells a lot about how good you are.
I
If
agree.
You're winning ugly. That's still
I agree.
Sure.
Because with the Ravens, they win ugly, but they've also had games where they're just blowing them out.
Yeah.
And then they have games where it's close, but they just can't miss, like the Rams game. It's just I've seen it all with them.
I think I'm just
I really
scared.
I don't know.
I'm scared about the Ravens because
We've
A,
seen
we've
it.
seen
We've
it.
seen this before.
But
Yeah.
also B, we all knew this stretch was coming,
Yeah.
That's true.
and it could go 0-2.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
all of a sudden, it's like, oh, well, the Ravens suck. It's like,
Yeah.
so
It's no. The headline for ESPN that morning is gonna be Lamar Jackson.
is Lamar Jackson
Is
worth
Lamar
money?
Ja-
Yeah.
So
That's true.
I guess I'm just holding my horses a little bit because
It's just
Miami could get the 1 seed. Miami
Dude,
could get the
I-
1
I-
seed,
I
and
mean,
then
I
all
don't-
the.
maybe I'm biased. I just don't see them getting the 1 seed. I think the Chiefs are a bigger threat. The Chiefs are going to
Sure.
win out. Chiefs are going to win out. There
Sure.
is no shot the Dolphins go 3-0 in these next 3 games. They
Wait,
play the
so the Dolphins play the Chiefs?
the Dolphins play the Cowboys, Ravens, and Bills.
Who the Chiefs play?
The Chiefs play
The Raiders.
the Chargers, and I think. Hold on.
Raiders have
Don't-
looked pretty
dude,
good.
They stink.
They got
They're
shut
about to
out
lose
2 weeks
week
ago.
They look pretty good.
Yeah, they lost the game 3-0 to the Vikings.
That's good defense.
The Bengals. They play the Bengals this week. Or no, not this week.
Week
Next
17. Yeah.
Week 17.
So Raiders, Bengals, too.
Raiders, Bengals,
Chargers.
2 of them. Raiders and Bengals are both at home. They're going undefeated.
Faux show.
I think they beat the Bengals. It'd be great if the Bengals won.
No, it would. No.
Dude, I'm okay with them.
I don't want them near the playoffs.
Why?
They're not doing anything. They're not
What do you mean,
doing
why?
Why? Tyler Boyd's gonna do something.
Screw the Bengals. That's why.
it. That's fair.
Because I don't want them.
I'd much rather have them than I don't know, the Colts.
Yeah, man. Like
No
the Colts-
way. No
What?
way.
The
Oh
Colts?
my God.
The Colts are getting bodied.
That's-
Whoever they play, they're
That's
getting bodied.
that's a ridiculous take.
You think the Colts are worse than the Bengals?
Yes.
The Bengals are pretty bad right now.
They're not that bad. Like, what are we talking about?
The
They're
Colts.
I don't know. I do think the Bengals are better than the Colts.
I would rather play the Jags than the Bengals.
Really?
Yes.
I'm worried about. I think the Jags are like having. You know how in 2012 when the Ravens had that stretch of games.
Yeah.
And then they were looking pretty bad. I think the Jags are that team.
I think their defense is just bad.
Their defense is terrible. Their defense is awful.
And they're missing Christian Kirk big time. So they have good edge rushers, but their defense just does not do it for me.
You know what they try and do every game is run ETN down the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They need to figure something out. For
They
that.
have no consistent run game.
Yeah.
And it's killing them. It's killing drives. So I'd rather play them. I'd rather play Houston. I'd rather play Indy.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, I don't want to play the Bengals. That's fair, I guess.
And look, a lot of this has stemmed from, like, us playing Tyler Huntley last year and getting to claim that it was a Tyler Huntley game and then not wanting to lose to them with Jake Browning? Yeah, probably. But, like,
that would be rough.
Gosh.
I just don't want them near the playoffs. I'm tired of them. Get out of here.
That's true. They were supposed to be done.
They're supposed to be done. That's what I mean.
But I think it facilitates the narrative like, oh, it's not all Joe Burrow. Like, the better they do, the more it takes away from Burrow.
Which is fun for a minute, but then you realize it's like I still don't like the Bengals as a whole
Yeah.
team. Like,
That's fair.
I don't like that Burrow gets propped up so much. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but I still don't like the Bengals. Still don't like a lot of their players.
That's fair. Are you more comfortable with the Browns?
No, I wish.
So you'd prefer the Browns miss the playoffs to the Bengals?
No,
Oh, come on.
In a world-
Come on.
Really?
The Browns are actually decent.
I'm okay with the Browns, man. If we
Over the Bengals, though?
Okay, here's how I look at it. Because both of those teams don't have their starting quarterback. If we lose to them, we are the biggest chokers maybe in NFL.
and I don't want that burden on me.
Yeah, we already are.
But you got to pick one of them.
Are.
You got to pick one of them.
Right.
I would rather Bane walk into the stadium.
Power back to the people.
Even if I was in the stadium. Yeah, I'd rather Bane walk in, and that'd be it.
So you don't have I thought for sure you were going to say you'd rather have Cleveland.
No, Cleveland scares me more than Cincy.
Yeah.
As it
Me
should.
too.
Yeah, as it should.
I don't know, man. Cincinnati.
I
I shouldn't
hate-
have won that game.
I hate Cincinnati more.
Yeah.
So for selfishly, I don't want the Bengals near
So
the
they
playoffs.
cancel out because
Yeah.
the Browns are better, but you hate the Bengals more.
Yeah.
So, it's a wash.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think the Bengals make the playoffs. They have a really tough stretch. They play the Steelers. They play the Chiefs.
They're
they
going to
play
beat the Steelers. The Steelers aren't.
They
Steelers.
might not beat the Steelers. This is
They-
the perfect Steelers game to win.
I thought that last week.
they're gonna go 9-8. They made a deal with the devil. Okay? And so they're going to beat the Bengals. And it'd be funny if they lose that game. I'm pretty sure the Bengals they'd be 0-5 in the division.
Yeah.
Bengals are 0-4.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Which is why they can't really win the division still. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Look, I'm ready for the playoffs. I already have playoff tickets. I'm very excited. I'm also terrified. 2019 happened, and I was there,
Yeah.
and that was awful.
Yeah, man. Maybe you shouldn't go.
Yeah.
I was there for the Rams game. Just saying.
You were.
Just saying.
It
What was
great.
the game before that you went to?
I went to almost all of them last year.
Oh, but the Rams game was your first this year.
Yes.
And Lamar Jackson happened last year.
Yeah, man. What the
Yeah. I was at
You're
the
at
Denver
the-
game.
Oh.
The James Prochet. The James Prochet game. Yeah.
Oh God, that was the James. We won that game.
We did. We
All
did.
right, whatever. We won the game.
Whatever. All right. Another big playoff implication game is tomorrow night, which I think we'll get to our best bets and get out of here. Saints Rams tomorrow night. I think we talked about it already, but we'd much rather see the Rams than any other NFC team really make the playoffs. So go Rams. They get this game at home. If Jameis Winston were to play for the Saints, I'd change my mind completely. So, it should be a fun one. Decent Thursday night football game. Although the Saints, like we said, kind of not fun to watch, but the Rams are fun. We'll see. Would you guys like to go ahead with your best bets?
Puka.
Okay.
Puka receiving yards.
Not receptions.
I know. I thought about it. It's just when you have a player that is explosive,
Mm-hmm.
I like to leave that out in case he just gets one that he breaks. But he does do a lot of underneath routes. I was thinking about that even right now.
What are his receptions?
I guess be 4.5.
4.5.
It's fine.
That's an absolute no go.
Yeah. No. That doesn't correlate.
62.5 on the receiving yards?
Yeah.
Okay. Ben?
Mine is going to be Matt Stafford over 1.5 pass touchdowns.
Ooh,
He's done that in
interesting.
his past 4 games. He went through a stretch where he did not do that at all. But they've been playing much different ball, much better ball. They got both their receivers healthy. The Saints defense is also a train wreck
I like
on
it.
the back end. It's been that way all year.
Well, this will be super correlated.
Yeah.
So, sorry, everybody. But I actually have 2 plays, but one you cannot put in the same game parlay, so I'll do that second. My play for here, I'll call them both real plays, but my play for the parlay that we'll do is Tyler Higbee over 2.5 catches. He came back last week. His role was a little down from earlier in the season, but earlier in the season it was like a 90% snap share. It was 65 last week in his first game back. I expect that to tick up a little bit. Now he's even healthier. So over 2.5 receptions. He still had 4 catches last week on 5 targets. Saints give up the 12th most targets to tight ends in the league. So not awful, but not very good either. So my other play that you cannot put in the same game parlay, but I have already bet it, is Rashid Shaheed, longest reception over 16.5 yards.
If he gets one.
Yeah.
That's the thing, right?
Well, I just looked at him. He gets them pretty consistently.
He was out for about a month, and then he also came back last week, and he did get a 19-yard catch. As we've seen the last couple of weeks, the Rams have been giving up a ton of big plays. So I originally was looking at his receiving line, and it was 30.5. And I was like, oh, that's kind of close. But then I was like, longest reception, 16.5. As long as he gets one of the deep shots, he's doing that. If he catches a deep shot, he's doing that. And he can still break a screen or something like that. So
You're getting yourself out.
yeah. So I think that's a pretty good one.
Yeah. I like that one. Sold.
I wonder if his snap share goes up. Because Olave's out, right?
Olave's
Is that-
playing.
Olave is playing.
Okay, then no. That's
Is it
perfect.
like that Perry guy on the outside.
A.T.
E.
Perry. Yeah, Olave will be back, but I think that'll hurt Rashid in terms of volume.
Yeah.
But it might help him get more open.
Yes, that's fine.
Yeah. So those are the plays I like. I like the other two that you guys said. So the parlay is going to be pretty correlated, but that's fine.
If you can get DK 5 or 6 or whatever, pick 6.
Yeah, that's true.
Throw those 3 in there.
Yeah.
Because we found out the correlation doesn't matter.
Yeah. And we almost hit last week. Speaking of Matthew Stafford pass attempts, that was tragic. We would have cashed 5 out of 6 if Stafford threw one more pass. He got sacked on the last play that he had on offense, which would have been a throw, obviously.
Yep.
He also threw one. It was a pass play. Running back was behind him. He was in trouble. Threw a lateral. Should have been a pass. Obviously, was ruled a run. I understand the ruling. Just sucked. So, and then the Commanders taking an hour on the goal line didn't help. So, and then they missed the extra point for the over. That game sucked, but is what it is.
Yikes.
It happens. Made it all back on the Ravens. It's all good.
Hey,
But yeah, next week we'll be talking college football playoff since that'll be happening in the new year. But until then, have a Merry Christmas, everybody. We'll talk to you next week. Happy holidays.